I'll have a blue Christmas. Before I dive headfirst into this week's review, I'd first like to take time out to thank Leslie Swan for taking the bug zapper to my computer. After several hours in traction, it's back in the field with me spouting cheesy one-liners, but now with a few more badass scars on his case. So thank you, Leslie. Thanks to you, I can bring these reviews to anyone who happens to stumble upon them. During the stresses of the holiday season, Hollywood feels it's the appropriate time to litter the theaters with large piles of garbage. There are some diamonds in those piles of garbage, though. One of those is the Tales of Despereaux. Not the 5 viewers at home are thinking, Tales of Despereaux, but 6, you ridiculous bastard, you. Tales of Despereaux is a movie for children, and I know me wanting to see a children's movie makes about as much sense as a grown-up going down a playground slide. But hear me out on this one, it wasn't that bad. It's certainly not the Aladdin of the 21st century, but it kept me entertained, and that almost seems like too much to ask from most movies these days. Tales of Despereaux is about a mouse played by Ferris Bueller who is banished from his home for being brave and meets up with and befriends a marooned pirate rat played by The Graduate. There were some other story elements that the book probably explained a little bit better, like the whole soup day thing and why the head soup chef fist fought a tugging watermelon, but any movie that has a French chef fist fighting fruit is okay by my book. Where was I? Right! There wasn't a whole lot of bad to this movie. I think the only thing it suffered from was the average child attention span of 90 minutes, which has resulted, in my opinion, from years of lazy parenting. I've never read the book, but I'm sure they had to shorten a lot of the important story elements down substantially so children wouldn't get bored halfway through and begin destroying the theater. Back in the early 90s, if you couldn't sit through 2 hours of movie, you got smacked in the head. Or if you were too young to be smacked in the head, you just didn't go to the movies. But I digress. Tales of Despereaux is a good movie that will probably boom the market in DVD sales since the theater crowd seems to simply pass it up on its way to sit through 7 pounds or Yes Man like it's a homeless man begging for cheese. I'd say if your kids weren't already gnawing at your ankles to go see this movie, you can probably let it pass you up and catch it on the DVD train to Obscurityville. On the flip side, however, if they are bugging you to shell out the cash, you won't be disappointed. Now I just have to keep myself occupied with shiny objects until the spirit comes out.
Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, próspero año y felicidad.